Done.
Hello students, today again I am explaining the same chapter, that is demand analysis, and today I will be explaining a very important question which comes in ICSE and ISC both, that is movement along the demand curve and shift in demand. Now if you see the diagram and if you draw it properly, you can derive other differences from the diagram only. Now you can see that DD is a demand curve which is sloping downward from left to right. In x-axis I have written quantity and in y-axis I have written price. Now there are two movements I have shown in the demand curve. One is the upward movement, that is contraction, and the other is the downward movement, that is expansion. Now, what do you mean by the term contraction? What happens in real life when price is high, demand will be less, and when price is low, demand will be more. So, contraction means at high price, less quantity is demanded, and expansion means when price falls, more quantity is demanded. This is a natural trend, but it is not always happens in real life. So there are two movements, contraction and expansion. Now the second diagram, you can see that I have written shift in demand. Now in bracket I have written change in demand, and here I have written change in quantity demanded. Sometimes the question is asked, differentiate between change in quantity demanded and change in demand. The answer is same, but sometimes students get confused. So in bracket I have mentioned so that you can write whichever term comes in exam. Now the second important thing of this is that draw the diagram neatly. X-axis you write quantity, y-axis you write price. OP is the price, which is constant because in shift price remains constant, and due to change in other factors which are affecting demand like population, income, taste and preferences and extra. तो आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं कि demand curve is shifting towards right and demand curve is shifting towards left. Now this is the first difference. Second difference, you will write that no new demand curve is formed, as you can see in the diagram. But here you will write that new demand curves are formed. आपको यहाँ कोई पॉइंट्स जो है आपको लर्न करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप सिर्फ डायग्राम देख के ही आप डिफरेंस लिख सकते हैं. तो सेकेंड डिफरेंस आप देख रहे हैं क्लियरली कि न्यू डिमांड कर्व्स आर फॉर्म्ड, सो न्यू डिमांड कर्व्स आर फॉर्म्ड. Now the third difference, there are two movements, as I told you earlier, there are two movements along the demand curve. One is expansion and the other is contraction. The upward is contraction, downward is expansion. एग्जाम के समय कभी बच्चे ठीक इसका उल्टा लिख देते हैं, पूरा डायग्राम आपका गलत हो जाए. सो आप जब डायग्राम ड्रॉ कर रहे हैं, आप पूरा अटेंशन पे कीजिए कि आप ठीक से उसको लेबल कर रहे हैं कि नहीं. नाउ हियर व्हाट यू विल राइट, दैट there are shifts in demand curve. First shift is rightward shift, and second shift is leftward shift. In my previous videos, I explained that rightward shift is known as increase in demand and leftward shift is known as decrease in demand. Increase in demand means price remaining same, but due to change in other factors you are demanding more, and decrease in demand means price remaining same, demand curve shifts to the left. Fourth difference here, the most important difference, price is changing and other factors affecting demand are constant. Means here in this case only price of the commodity is changing. The other factors which are affecting demand, they are constant. Here just the opposite, price remains constant and other factors are changing. So in this type of differences, here only the diagram is more important. Rest of the things you can derive from the diagram only. You don't have to learn anything. So I think it's clear to you. Now I will be explaining the other questions which are asked from the same chapter as differences. Here, the same question can be asked in two different ways. First, what is the difference between contraction in demand and decrease in demand? The next question, extension in demand and increase in demand. Again, you have to draw the diagram first. So x-axis quantity, y-axis price. Draw the demand curve. Here there is no necessity that it should be a curve only, you can draw the straight line also. Now, contraction means only you have to draw the upward arrow. Here decrease in demand, again the most important thing, first you draw the price. Because price is constant, then you draw the original demand curve, the quantity, x-axis, you write here quantity, y-axis, you write here price. Decrease means there is a leftward shift in the same demand curve. So if this question is asked that what is the difference between contraction in demand and डिक्रीज इन डिमांड, आपका डायग्राम सेम है, आपको सिर्फ इन दोनों डायग्राम में डिफरेंशिएट करना है. Here you can see that the upward movement is known as contraction in demand. Here you can write that the leftward shift is known as decrease in demand. The second difference is no new demand curve is formed. Here new demand curve is formed. Again same, here price is the factor which is changing. Here you will write that price is remaining constant, that is OP, and other factors are changing, maybe due to fall in population. The demand curve shifts to the left. और जैसा मैंने आपको पहले बताया था, taste and preferences. A new phone is launched in the market, but people are not liking it. Maybe it is not a user-friendly phone. So, the demand curve will shift to the left. Or income of the buyer falls. Then also demand curve will shift to the left. तो आपका पहला डिफरेंस होगा डायग्राम. सेकेंड डिफरेंस होगा आपका मूवमेंट. जो ऊपर की ओर मूवमेंट है, you write here contraction. It is very important to write down all these things. So the diagram is only explaining the difference. And here you will draw two curves. One is the original and one is in left side, that is decrease in demand. So just you can find out that these diagrams are very easy to draw, and these diagrams are helping you to derive the differences between two things. Now extension in demand. सेम आप एक डिमांड कर्व स्ट्रेट ही ड्रॉ कीजिए. नीचे की तरह एरो दीजिए. यहाँ लिखिए एक्सपेंशन. ये है एक्स एक्सिस, ये है वाई एक्सिस. वाई में मैंने प्राइस लिखा है, एक्स इज क्वांटिटी. इंक्रीज इन डिमांड में आप पहले प्राइस लाइन ड्रॉ कीजिए. यहाँ पी. Now this is the original demand curve, that is DD. New demand curve, that is D1, D1. Quantity ये है Q. आप पहले OQ खरीद रहे थे. Now you are buying OQ1 quantity. Here you can draw the arrow which is in right hand side. This is your X axis, which is denoting quantity, and this is your y-axis, which is denoting price. Similarly मैंने यहाँ भी लिखा है. So now how to differentiate between these two things? Now first you will explain that downward movement in the same demand curve is known as expansion, and here you will write that rightward shift is known as increase in demand. Again यहाँ प्राइस क्या है, कांस्टेंट है. सॉरी, यहाँ प्राइस चेंज हो रहा है, अदर फैक्टर्स आर चेंजिंग. एंड इस डायग्राम में आप देख सकते हैं कि प्राइस कांस्टेंट है. ड्यू टू चेंज इन अदर फैक्टर्स द डिमांड इज चेंजिंग. अदर फैक्टर्स इसका मतलब है आइदर पॉपुलेशन में इंक्रीज हो रहा है, या टेस्ट एंड प्रेफरेंसेस ऑफ द कंज्यूमर इज फेवरेबल टू द गुड. मीन्स इफ अ न्यू प्रोडक्ट इज लॉन्च्ड इन द मार्केट, then people are liking it. Sometimes people are liking it because of the innovative approach of the producer. It's different. So due to change in taste, favorable change in taste and preference, the demand curve can shift to the right. Due to increase in population, demand curve can shift to the right. जमशेदपुर का ही आप एग्जाम्पल ले रहे हैं. जैसे एक पॉपुलेशन धीरे धीरे बढ़ता जा रहा है, डिमांड फॉर गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज आर इंक्रीजिंग डे बाय डे. price is not changing due to change in other factors, here the shift occurs. So आपका डायग्राम यदि ठीक है, आपको मार्क्स डायग्राम में भी मिलते हैं और बाकी जो डिफरेंसेस है आप डायग्राम से ही डिराइव कर सकते हैं. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो. प्लीज लाइक इट, share it and subscribe it. Thank you.